I'm Valerie Van Boeven. We are going to do something a little bit different today. Normally, our Wednesday afternoon mastermind meetings are private for our clients, but today and a couple of times a year, I think we do this, we decide to open it up to everybody and talk about some of the things that are probably on everybody's mind. And we figured AI is on your minds, or whether you like it or not, it's probably on your minds. And of course, websites and what should you be doing? What should you not be doing? All the things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we've opened it up to everybody so we can just let the world know what we're doing and what we recommend. So having said that, I'm going to go to the next slide. And since we have it open to everybody, I'll just start. I'm Valerie Van Boeven. I'm a registered nurse, the co-owner of Approved Senior Network and the founder. And we've been in business for 20 years. I cannot believe it. That's crazy. And then I'll pass it on to any one of you who would like to introduce yourselves.
Okay. Hi, I'm Annette Ziegler. I've been with ASN for over 2 years, and I am the sales trainer for our sales training classes here. And I love what I do, teaching everybody tips and tricks, how to get those referrals and to grow your revenue in your home care business.
Hello, I'm Dawn Fiala. I've been with Approved Senior Network for 4 years, and I've been in the home care industry for a really long time, longer than I'm willing to admit because you'll know my age. I love working with home care owners, and I love what you do out there every day, supporting your clients and advocating for them. And I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Lisa.
Awesome. I'm Lisa Marcellet. I have been here almost 4 years and I can't even believe it. But I too come from home care. And as you guys know, you can't stay in one lane in home care. And that's where I'm at with this. But I love being on this end to be able to talk with you guys and work through our different programs, our CRM, and all the marketing campaigns that you guys throw our way. It's very fun stuff.
This is a great team. Even if you cut me out, this is a great team. They are wonderful, especially in all things, but especially in that in-person sales and sales training. And I'm going to do housekeeping, then we're going to talk about sales training. Housekeeping is just keep your lines muted, share stories, experiences, and tips, ask questions, make recommendations, and tell us what you want to know. So we say this to our private clients every time we have one of these meetings on Wednesdays, and we extend that to you. If there's anything you'd ever like us to talk more about, we certainly will. We have YouTube channels. We have podcasts. In fact, this will be uploaded as a podcast. So there's plenty of ways to get to know us and to follow along with all the stuff that we do. And I'll share that with you a little bit later too. Okay, let's talk about GoCare Pro sales training. And Annette, why don't you introduce it? Just talk a little bit about it and then tell us about the dates that we have coming up.
Sure. So we have a GoCare Pro sales training program. It's a 12-week program where we meet once a week for an hour. And I'd like to say that we spoon feed you. We teach you everything you need to know, getting out there, who to talk to, what to say, what to bring. I live in upstate New York. Dawn is in Arizona. Lisa's in San Diego. We all live in different states. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You may have some different state rules and regulations, but home care marketing is the same everywhere. It's about building those relationships. And that's what we train you to do and have you feel more confident being out there and in turn getting referrals and especially private pay referrals. So we have some upcoming dates. We just had our August 25th yesterday, but we do have some availability in our September classes. We keep the classes small, no more than 6 people, because we want to be able to give everybody an opportunity to share and interact. I do train the classes. There's slides that I present, but there's a lot of interaction. We give you a little homework each week, and we get really excited when you're booking lunch and learns and when you're texting us and telling us that you have referrals. If you follow what we do, you will get referrals. You'll get referrals, but you have to do what we say. And we'd love to have you. If you want more information, please let us know.
I muted myself. So I want to give a little extra shout out to this. So if you were to type in a Google search for Approved Senior Network, 3 words, you would find that our Google business profile will show up usually. Sometimes it doesn't, but usually it shows up. And we're headquartered in St. Charles, Missouri, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, there are over 50 testimonials, and a majority of them are about Annette and sales training. And there's some about Lisa, and there's all kinds of testimonials on there. But the sales training Google reviews are outstanding, and there's so many of them. So I encourage you to go look at that if you're wondering if people like our sales training. And the other thing is there's a YouTube channel. If you type in home care marketing, you'll find us, or Approved Senior Network. And what you'll find is that there are over 50 video testimonials from people who have taken the class, and all of them rave about Annette. And Annette is your best friend during training, and she will take your texts and she will take your calls and help you through it. So I just want to give that shout out because Annette does a great job. Everybody does, but this is well worth going through for 12 weeks. So I'll get off the bandwagon here. All right. So today we're going to talk about your website in the AI search area, what home care agencies should include, how SEO and AI search work together, and how to choose the right website platform so your site earns families' trust and converts their visitors into care requests. I did put our website on here. If you want to visit our website, it's asnhomecaremarketing.com, and I will talk to you more about that as we go along here. All right, so the first thing I want you to know is that when you watch this video, if you're watching the replay or if you're here live or both, you do not need to become a web developer. That's not what this is about today. It's just to give you some really good information about what's happening with AI. And a year from now, if I were to do this webinar again, it probably is going to be completely different. But today, in 2026 and moving into 2027, you just need to know how to build the right foundation, understand what AI search is serving up, choose your platform, WordPress versus AI built websites, and you will leave here today with a 30-day plan. Some of you are our clients. Some of you have never been our clients with regard to website services or online marketing. And so for all of you, this is really great information. No matter which place you're coming from, you're going to be solicited. Everybody's solicited about, we do SEO better, we do websites better. We compete against every SEO guy, every AI search guy, every website developer in the United States and beyond. And they're all going to start soliciting about how you should have an AI built website. And AI agents should do this, and AI this, and AI that. Let's talk about it. I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right. Your website has 3 jobs. And I think going back to the basics a little bit is really important. The first thing that your website should do for you is to help you get found. So search engines, maps, AI systems need to be able to discover you, understand, and surface your agency to the right families. Number 2 is building trust. And we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you what that looks like. And number 3 is create an action. Tell them what to do. Right now, what is my next step? I am overwhelmed. I am scared. My parent suddenly doesn't seem to be doing well at home by themselves. What is it that I need to do next to get help? So ASN builds websites from a marketing perspective, not just a design perspective. Everything we do at ASN is a combination of that in-person sales and that online marketing coming together and saying the same thing with the same messages, making it easy for people to understand you, trust you, and find you. So these are the 3 actions your website should be handling for you right now. The path to your website is not a straight line. It hasn't been a straight line in a long time. I've always said that your website should be the hub of everything. It should be the hub of your content. Everything you do out in the field, you should be taking pictures, you should be doing selfies, you should be showing what you're leaving behind. You should make it a fun day every day that you can. And you should share that information on your website. Some of you have no idea how to do that. Our clients know that if they send us that information, if they send us that lunch and learn, pictures from that lunch and learn, or that health fair that they were at, or that job fair that they attended, that we put that on their website as a blog post. So your website should be the hub for all information. And out from that hub you're being found by Google search and AI overviews. Referrals and word of mouth are also part of what comes from your website and also comes to your website. Online reviews, paid ads, ChatGPT AI search, Google Maps, all of those things are very important, and your website is right there in the middle. So the better your website performs, the better off all of these things will happen. If somebody refers you, if a social worker refers you and your website is Jank Store 1999, Cousin Eddie built it for you, or it's free website tonight and it's got broken images and all this stuff, then that referral has some weight. But when they see your website, they're probably not going to be very impressed. Because if this is how your online presence looks, then how do you run the rest of your business? You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but everybody does. So all of this works together to make leads and referrals come to you. SEO and AI search are not competing strategies. And by the way, as we go through here, I am going to show you slides, show you examples of what I'm talking about. So it's not just a bunch of words. We're going to actually look at some pictures here in a minute. So AI search and SEO work together. If someone tells you that SEO is dead and AI search is all there is now and everything has to change, that is not true. AI search is definitely good. It's definitely coming. It's already here. You probably are starting to hear people say, I found you because of ChatGPT. I know we hear it. We hear that people find us on ChatGPT or Claude, or we are hearing that, but we're a marketing company. But I know that our home care agency clients are hearing that more and more. It's not as prominent, but they are definitely hearing that. So if you have good SEO practices, then as AI search starts looking for a recommendation for the person that's entering the question, does my mom need home care? My mom has dementia. Does she need home care? How much does home care cost? We'll get into this a little bit more, but as that AI search, mainly Google, is looking for answers, and the best answers and the most trusted authority sites are going to come up first. And you want in your local area for your website to come up in some of those searches. All right, so they work together. If you have no SEO, if you have terrible reviews, AI is not going to recommend you. AI is not going to recommend somebody that has a 2.0 or no reviews at all versus someone who has 20 reviews, 30 reviews, 40 reviews, 50 reviews. The more stellar your business looks to Google, the more it's going to be recommended. So everything works together. Reviews, longevity, your website, all those things. All right. So AI assisted or traditional SEO, let's start there. I'm covering up my stuff. And let me know, guys, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. You can use the Q&A. I don't even know if I have that up. I think just use the chat for now. In traditional SEO helps pages get crawled and indexed and understood and ranked by search engines. But AI assisted search retrieves relevant web information. It takes into consideration where those resources are, what those sources are. It takes that and answers your question. And then it'll give you supporting links. So if I ask, what are some of the senior resources in Ashburn, Virginia? Usually the Ashburn, Virginia Area Agency on Aging or some kind of government thing is going to come up first. And then after that, we're going to have other websites. You'll see that care.com is very often, and a placeformom.com very often being shown to you in AI search. And that is because they did their SEO correctly. They've been around for a very long time, more than 20 years. They update their content all the time. These are not static websites that never update. They constantly are updating their information, and they're well respected. Whether you like them or not, online they are well respected and consumers trust them. So having said that, that's why they come up a lot. That doesn't mean you can't come up, but it just is the authority and the experts are going to win. So you need to be that authority and expert. All right, what search systems need from your website? Clear facts, useful answers, and a clean structure. So first of all, your website has to be crawlable. That's been the truth for more than 20 years. Your internal links, I'm going to go down the left side. Connected internal links show how your services, your locations, and your guides relate to each other. So you have to have internal linking that's done correctly. It has to be trustworthy. So you need to have some original content on there. You need to have blog posts that updates to your website, new content coming in. And you have to have some specific stuff on there, like your services need to be clear, your locations need to be clear, hours, contact info, and it needs to be structured. Something that you all don't see that we deal with every single day is called schema markup. And that is behind the scenes. Nobody ever sees that but the person building your website or the person doing SEO for you. So we add schema markup to every page. And what that does is Google and AI, they don't see the pretty website in front of you. They just see a bunch of block code going down the page. And so they have to be able to discern, and that's what they love. That's what these machines are reading. So in that block code, there has to be something that tells that the internet, whatever it is it's searching for you, who you are, where you're located, and schema markup helps with that. And then local website and Google Business Profile tell the same accurate, consistent story about where you serve. So not only does your service area need to match, but your services need to match, and your categories of that, your business categories need to match. And a lot of this that I'm saying, you'll know if you've had SEO on your website ever, that a lot of this is the same thing. SEO matters. Done well, this is going to help you in AI search. So 3 AI search myths to stop paying for. You probably don't pay for them yet, but you're going to get solicited for this. We need to build a special GEO, AEO rebuild. Having a website rebuilt is important for a lot of reasons. If it's old, if it's 3 years old, 5 years old, you probably need an updated website. Not even if you love the way it looks, the back end, the technology that manages it on the back end has become completely outdated. And just doing WordPress updates is not what I'm talking about. Of course, everybody who really should, we all do website updates for you automatically every week. But there's things that just aren't needed or are slowing your website down because they're clunky, things that we do differently today than we did 2 years ago, 1 year ago, even 6 months ago. So rebuilding your website is never a bad idea after a few years, but it's not because you need a GEO, AEO rebuild. GEO is generative engine optimization and AEO is artificial and or whatever engine rebuild. You just don't need all that. There's GEO, AEO, AI search, blah, 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 blah. Yes, rebuild your website, not because you have to get up to speed with AI. That's not the reason to do it. The reason to do it is because it's got old technology on the back end and you should redo it. We need an LLM.txt file or a special AI markup. There's mixed reviews on this. An LLM.txt file is simply a list that tells whatever AI search comes by, gives it a really brief overview of who you are, where you're located, and what you do. It is not the deciding factor on anything. It just is a nicety. You do not have to have an LLM.txt file. Do we have LLM.txt files? Yes. Do we charge for it? No. It's just something that any good web developer would do. So it's just a text document, and it's not hard to create at all. So please don't pay for stuff like that. Our agency can be guaranteed in ChatGPT and answers, and Google answers, and ChatGPT answers, and Claude answers. No reputable provider controls AI-generated answers, and if they tell you or guarantee you that, they are lying to you because you cannot guarantee you first page rank. I cannot guarantee you an X number of leads, even in paid advertising. I cannot guarantee you that you're going to show up in AI search. If a provider, if a online marketing company is telling you that you will get X, Y, and Z guaranteed from them, then run fast, because that is an unethical practice and they will not be able to fulfill that, generally speaking, but they'll hook you in with it. So No reputable provider will ever tell you that. Durable is better than trendy. So for your website, you just want to focus on a clear, authoritative, and well-organized website and content that serves real families. Build for the families. All right, 5-second homepage test. And then we're going to look at one of our websites and see if it passes the 5-second homepage test. Your website, if you open your website on your phone right now, open your home care website, just do it on your phone real quick. Don't scroll down, just look at what appears on your phone because that's where they are. They're not on their desktop, they're on their phone. And tell me if you can find the following. Can you help me? Is your core service obvious from the headline alone without reading further? Now, think from the perspective of someone who's never seen your website before and doesn't know home care and doesn't know your agency. Look at it with new eyes, if you can, or ask a parent of yours or ask a friend of yours who's not in the home care business. Look at this website. What do you think we do? Where do you provide care? I know a lot of websites, especially on mobile, do not tell you where they provide care. Why should I trust you? Wait a minute, let me just back up. They do tell you where they provide care, but not in that very first glance. So maybe you have to scroll or maybe you have to change pages. You shouldn't have to do that. Why should I trust you? Is there any immediate evidence of credibility, years in business, reviews, credentials, anything? And what should I do next? Your phone number and a contact us, schedule a call, whatever needs to be right there at the top, a button. Click here to get a hold of us. Click here for care. What should I do next? One clear call to action. Call, text, request care. Can you see it right there without opening anything, without scrolling anywhere? If any answer is unclear in 5 seconds, that's your first and most important website improvement. And make sure you're looking at this from a mobile perspective. All right, so here is a website that just went live for us, I think today or yesterday, maybe. And I want you to look at two things. This is Trinity Home Assistance. Look at the top, serving those in need of in-home support and families throughout Metro Detroit, Wayne, Macomb, and Oakland counties. Get started, and there's the phone number. If you click it, you can call. Get help at home. Become a paid caregiver. There's no way that you can look at this and tell me you don't know where they serve. It's right at the top, and how to get a hold of them. There's several options here. So easy stuff. They don't have to scroll or do anything. Now here's the mobile version. Now this is a screenshot from I just squished it together. So it's a little wider than a phone, but look what you can see. Get started, phone number, screenshot's not always there. That's me. And then as you read this paragraph, it says serving those in need of in-home support in families throughout Metro Detroit, Wayne, Macomb, and Oakland counties. Right there. Bam. There's no way you can miss that. It's there and you can see exactly what to do next. Get help at home. Get started. Call us. Right there. So that is what the pieces that your website should provide instantly without scrolling. Above the fold should answer the family's biggest questions. Clear headline, real photo or human moment, and a primary call to action. And you shouldn't make people hunt for the basics because they won't hunt. They'll just move on. If it's slow to load, they're going to move on. So let's keep going here. Let's see I'm going backwards. All right. The pages every growth ready home care site should have. So you should have a homepage, obviously. Your services, areas, why us, reviews, frequently asked questions, contact us, careers. Oh, careers is in there twice. You don't need 2 careers pages. Costs, veterans, if you serve veterans, and hospital to home care is one that I see people leaving off, but I think that's an important one. You have a lot of folks coming home from the hospital. You should have a hospital to home care page. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Let's talk about it first. One major service is one useful page. Okay, so for a lot of websites that we see, especially ones that were built for free, built on GoDaddy, built with some easy, cheap service. What I see is this. They have all their services listed on one page, and that's it. There is not a page that talks about 24-hour home care or a page that talks about personal care. You must have a page that is intelligently and long form written, but is divided up so that people can read about it. It's easy on the eyes. It's easy on their reading capabilities. Not everybody reads at a collegiate level, believe it or not. We're talking about sometimes they are reading at a 7th grade level. Sometimes they're reading at a 10th grade level. It needs to be easy to understand and read. Easy on the eyes means it's not just paragraphs and paragraphs. There are divisions, there are images dividing up the page. One major service needs its own page, and it should be long form written, search engine optimized, and it should have AI search paragraph at the very top of the page so that when AI comes by, it's got a real summary right there at the top that AI can read about that page. All right. Here is a screenshot of an example. So for instance, this page on this website is all about our services. So if you were to scroll through this, you would see that all of their services are listed on one page. Now, for most websites or most home care agencies, that's where it stops. They list all of the stuff and they never do anything else. But if you look at this website, when I click on our services, there is a page for every single thing that is important to them. So every page is written out, it's clear, there's a call to action, and it gives more information about what they do for each of these services. And you may think, don't people know that? They don't know that. They don't know what dementia care at home is. They don't know what hospital to home care is. People have no idea what they're getting themselves into. They're brand new to all this. So each page clearly defines what that service is like. Sometimes they're a little repetitive because you get companion care with a lot of these. And so that's on the page, but each page is clearly defined and your consumers really need that. Whoop. Location pages. Let's talk about location pages. If they're not done right or they're done the 2016 way, they're very thin. So in other words, they just have home care in St. Louis, Missouri, and then we provide home care in St. Louis, Missouri. Here are all our services, and there you go. That is not how we write location pages anymore. What we do is we write them so that they have meaning. They talk about the services that are available in the St. Louis area. They talk about senior-friendly options. They talk about healthcare in the St. Louis area. They have meaning. They actually talk about things that are specific to St. Louis. So if you're going to build local pages, they need to be useful, not just the same page over and over again that just has a change in the town name. So they need to really say something different. So here is an example. Now, this is actually an office page, so it's even, I couldn't give you the whole page. You can look at these. You can see the name of the home care agency, and you can go to this. So this is Pansy Home Care in West Hartford, Connecticut. So if you were to start at the top, you would see very specific information, their address, their registration number, their phone numbers, their fax. This is a landing page for a home care office or location. And then you see about Pansy Home Care, and you see a map of where they are. And then if you were to scroll down the page, you would see all their services and their staff. You would see all kinds of things on this page. But at the bottom, we take it a step further. We talk about the health systems and hospitals near West Hartford and senior care and elderly resources near West Hartford. So when we build this page, we don't just build the identical page over and over again. We actually take the time to find out what services are appropriate for someone and what hospitals and urgent cares and non-competing senior services that we can list. We also list things to do. What are some senior-friendly options? Parks, senior centers, museum tours, I don't know, whatever it is, things that you could actually do with your senior in West Hartford or a caregiver could do. So that's what a location page should look like. Let's talk about content and AI. So AI search has made complete, well-organized answers to real questions even more important than it used to be. So when your website addresses the exact questions a family types into Google or ChatGPT, you become the source those systems retrieve and reference. So what we do is we have added, for all of our folks that are in SEO, we've added very long, robust, frequently asked question pages. These aren't just a giant list of frequently asked questions. They're divided into categories. So you have frequently asked questions about companion care, about personal care, about 24-hour home care, about our office, so we have categories that we list so that the consumer understands what they're looking at, AI understands, and SEO understands. And these are some of the most frequently asked questions. How much does home care cost? Does Medicare pay for home care? Can someone stay with dad overnight? How quickly can care start? And what does dementia care include? If you go to a program called Also Asked, or you can just look on a Google search and see what other questions people ask right there on the screen. And the top ones typically are, how much does home care cost in wherever location you're in? And does Medicare pay for home care? Those are the two top ones. There's several others. What's the difference between home care and home health care? Those are big, frequently asked questions. Your website needs to be answering those questions on the frequently asked question page, on a static page, on a blog post. You can get that information out there in a guide that you offer in many different ways, but your website needs to start answering these questions. And this is not necessarily something we've never talked about before, but I know that people have a really hard time with how much does home care cost, because I know that you don't want to list your services, your costs on your website. I get that. So what does that answer look like? That answer is going to cite some of the sources that we can find nationally, which is like CareScout, Genworth, and we're going to cite those sources because they're very up to date. But we're also going to say in this area of St. Louis or Connecticut or wherever you are, the range of cost is somewhere from $35 to $45 an hour. Now, you want to make sure you're in that range somewhere, or adjust the range, whatever. But give folks a range of how much hourly care costs, and then give them an idea of how they can start care without breaking the bank. Maybe someone only needs 4 hours a day. Maybe they only need 8 hours every other day. Whatever it is, they don't have to start with 24-hour care right off the bat usually. And if that's the case, then something that might seem like a big expense is less of a bite to take off. So it's just, let's get started with just a little bit of home care, see how things go. So you need to expand on how much does home care cost, teach people what they can do, teach people how they can pay for it. And that should all be on your website. All right, so here's just a couple of examples. Here's our frequently asked questions. So if you go to asnhomecare.com, under our resources tab, you'll see frequently asked questions. So here are all the home care marketing and sales FAQs you could ever want in your whole life. I don't know. Our approach, SEO, Google and AI search, leads, GoCare Pro sales training, connecting marketing and sales, expectations, results, and fit. All of that is here. On a home care website, it looks a little different. You have your senior home care, your companion care at home, and we might use an accordion, or we might just say the answers right there. Also, behind the scenes, we talked about schema. There is schema code behind each of these pages that tells AI, tells Google search, tells other search engines, here is what this says. Here is the frequently asked question, and here is the answer. It's all coded behind the scenes as well as visible on the front. Trust is not one badge, it's a stack of proof. So you need to show real expertise, real credentials, real people, and real reviews. We're never going to get away from good reviews. You need to have them. And the best way to get a really good review is the minute you know somebody's really happy with your services, ask them for a review right now. So if you know that Mary is super happy about the care that her mom, Joanne, is getting, then you need to say, hey, Sue, we would love it if you would leave us a review about our services. Immediately, you need to ask that. You need to have that done as soon as you know they're happy, because if you wait until tomorrow, they will be unhappy. And they'll be unhappy because somebody was late 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour late, and you couldn't see that coming. No one could. And today, Sue's pretty ticked off. So asking them for a review in the moment is so important. And that's why we have a review program. And lots of our clients use it, and they have been able to get absolutely fabulous reviews by following some of the advice that we give right away. You don't have to be scared of getting reviews. If you get a bad review and it's from a caregiver, we can help you remove it. If it's from someone who's upset because they weren't hired, upset because they got fired, upset because they didn't get the hours they want, or they got too many hours, or whatever it is, that is a conflict of interest. That is not the person who should be leaving you a review. It should be your clients and their families. So we can help get bad reviews, not always, but we can try to get those reviews removed. All right, so on our review page, we stack up everything we have, and you should too, even if it's just the Google reviews. But if it's Google reviews and care.com and caring.com and aplaceformom.com and yelp.com, stack them all up in there. Wherever you have great reviews, let's show them. Sometimes we can't do an automated feed of those, but we can take pictures. We can rewrite them and put a link to the review from your webpage. So what we start with is 50 plus 5-star Google business reviews and 50 plus video testimonials. So you can watch the testimonials right on YouTube, or you can go right here and read all of our reviews. We put that right at the top. And then if you scroll down the page, you can see there's a video right here. If you scroll down the page, you can see a selection of our reviews. So our video reviews. So you can click on this one and it'll start playing, and you can play every single one in that playlist. Now, I understand that all of you don't have a million video reviews because of the nature of the business, but that doesn't mean that you can't add more attention to the good reviews that you have. Right here, we have 5-star reviews from home care leaders. If you were to scroll through these, there's at least 50 of them, and these all come straight from Google. So you can stack all of this up. Now let's look at another website. This is Everlight Care. And again, these are screenshots, so I'm scrolling down the page here. So on the left-hand side, you can see that they meet all the criteria of everything we just talked about, where they service, how to get a hold of them. They have 2 offices, and everything that you need to know about who they serve is right there, and how to get a hold of them. But you can see this little top 100 sticking up out of there. That's a 2026 top 100 in best of home care. So if you are with Activated Insights, I want to say the old name, Activated Insights, or one of those, even if it's care.com, caring.com, they give out awards a lot. And you can put that award on the homepage of your website. You can make a big deal out of it, or you can put it in the footer. I suggest that you lead with great reviews. So on their reviews page, if you were to go straight to their reviews page, you would see they have their Fresno office, they have their Bakersfield office, and then at the bottom or toward the middle of that reviews page, they have every award they've won over the last few years, and it's you can scroll through them. So they are very proud of the service they've provided their caregivers, their clients, and they are a top 100 home care agency. And you think what you want about all of that to a consumer, this does mean that they're a trustworthy agency that they can hire. So stack those reviews up from wherever they are. All right, every page should make the next step easy. Every page, not just the home page, should say call, text, or chat, short form to fill out, or schedule a consultation. If you're burying phone numbers on your pages, if they can't see anything, if they can't find, if they land on your companion care page, they should be able to see how to get a hold of you. So here's Compassionate Memory Care at Home. Up in the top, you can see the phone number, contact us, and right here in the middle of this page, contact us. So there's no doubt, and you can also see where they serve. So there's no doubt that you know how to get a hold of them, no matter what page they're on your website. Oh, let's talk about recruiting caregivers. So we talked about a careers page. I see a lot of very shallow careers page, and I know that you guys most of you are back to the point where you have more people looking for jobs, but a lot of times they don't qualify to work for you for whatever reason. But you do have a lot of people filling out the wrong form, calling the office all day that are looking for jobs. But I do think that your careers page should say more than just apply here. I think it needs to really talk about your mission, vision, and values. And this is just one example. This is another website that went live today or yesterday. But on their careers page, they really talk about, if you love this work, you belong here. This is a really nice way. And this image right here, of course, is AI, but we put their logo and use their colors. And then you can view their openings. And if you scroll down the page, you can see this isn't a really long page, but at least you get a sense of who they're looking for and what kind of qualities that person should have. And you get two things: apply now or reach out with questions. So they really have covered this nicely. I've seen much longer careers pages that also do a great job of explaining what that company is looking for. All right. Are we still doing good? Everybody's still around? Okay. Mobile first means mobile is the real website. Your website is not what you're looking at on the screen right now, unless you're on your mobile phone. Your website is what everybody sees on their phone. So yes, you have a desktop website. Everybody has a desktop website in 2026. But I need you to look at it on your phone. And if on your phone it looks bad, it doesn't load fast, it's not scrolling properly, there's something wrong with the navigation, it's cutting stuff off, then you have to fix your website. You have to fix that. Everybody is on a mobile device. So they're sitting at the bedside of their loved one in the hospital or in the rehab, and that person's about to get discharged, and they're handed a list of home care agencies, and you're on the list. That's great. But when they go to your website, is it showing up? Does it look okay? Can they find the phone number? If none of that is happening for them, they're moving on. Because if that's what your website looks like, then what does your business look like? Not fair, because you could be an amazing home care agency, but that's exactly what's happening in their head. They don't know you. They don't know anything about home care. If your website comes up janky on their phone, they're out. Okay. Let's talk about performance. And I've mentioned speed a couple of times. Let me see if there's the next slide. Oh, no. So here is performance. You should be an A rating on mobile, not an A rating on, yes, an A rating on desktop. But notice that this is GT metrics. Notice that this GT metrics grade is an A on mobile. You need to make sure that your website is an A on mobile. It should be fast on a mobile phone, on an old mobile phone, iPhone XR. It should be fast loading. So when you have an A rating, that's great. You can see that this website is almost fully loaded in 1.4 seconds. They can actually time to interaction, that means how long does it take for them to be able to click a button on your website? 1 second. Time to interactive is 1 second. They can click a button. Time to fully load, 1.3 seconds. That is what you're looking for in website speed. And you need to make sure that is a mobile test, not just a desktop. Okay, designed for older eyes, busy hands, and stressed brains. You need to make sure that you have ADA on your website. I think everyone probably does by now, but even building the website, big, easy to read text, not huge, but big, easy on my eyes. I'm 55 years old. I wear reading glasses. If your website has tiny text, even with my reading glasses on, I'm going to skip it because I'm not going to stress out over reading whatever is in tiny print. Adult children are probably of the Gen X or millennial age. Some are boomers, young boomers, and they need you to have a website they can read and understand. Please have ADA options on your website. And think of it this way: everyone you deal with every client of yours probably has a disability, right? That's why you're there. It makes sense that you would have ADA on your website. Your website and Google Business Profile should tell the same story. I see this a lot where it's the phone number's wrong, or the website is going to the wrong page, or it's just old and no one has paid attention to it for a long time. But if you go in and refresh it once in a while, at least check to make sure everything's right, because Google Ads stuff that you can add to your website all the time. Now we can add all of your services. Your services that are listed on your Google Business profile, at least behind the scenes, should match exactly what your website says. Your hours should match what your website says. Your phone number should match what your website says. And your service area. If you serve 500 counties, they should be listed. All of that is really important. All right, WordPress versus AI. Which one should you do? I'm going to tell you right now that it doesn't matter at this point. It does matter a little bit. I would stick with your WordPress website. And the reason I would stick with WordPress is because although people are going to start saying, oh, you need to build your website with AI, I'm not opposed to that. But there's so much that you can't control and only they know about in a website that is AI built. You can't see it and you don't know what questions to ask. And that's the problem. It's too new. And so maybe you do have a beautiful website, but if you don't know to tell Claude Code certain things about the build of your website and make sure they're there, they won't be there. So in other words, things could be missed and you'll never know it in a million years. With WordPress, I'm not saying that anybody here is a WordPress expert except for maybe us. You've never built a website. You don't know much about what goes on with WordPress. But it's easy for another web developer to go in the back end of your website and say, I wish they would have done this. Or we can run an audit and see that there are some things that aren't turned on or aren't. We have audited sites and found that someone never unchecked the little checkbox that says, allow Google to index this website or stop, do not allow. There's a checkbox that says, do not allow search engines to index this website. And while your website's being built, there's a checkbox there because we don't want anything to be indexed until we're done and we make it live. But if that checkbox isn't unchecked, your website is not being indexed by Google, and that is bad. And we've seen websites that are like 5 years old that have never had that box unchecked, and it's crazy. It happens. But at least somebody can see that. With AI, I can't see that. And you can't either unless you're a Claude Code expert. So AI is a building method. It is not a business asset category. A WordPress website can use AI tools. A proprietary AI builder can produce an excellent result as well. The technology label alone tells you nothing about whether the site will serve your business well. So until we have a better understanding or you have a better understanding about what to look for and what not to look for, I'd say WordPress is just fine. 5 years.
Sorry, we have a couple of questions.
Okay.
When you finish your thought, go ahead.
Okay. 5 years from now, I'm probably going to tell you that it's easier, cheaper, and faster and better to build your website with AI. Maybe not even 5 years, maybe a year from now. But you do not need to rebuild your website just because AI is becoming popular. I will tell you, if you want to see an AI built website, ours is built with AI. Our website, asnhomecaremarketing.com, was just rebuilt with AI. And it took a while. It's not like we just said, rebuild our website. It was a lot of back and forth with Claude to get it the way we wanted to get it. And it's still not exactly what I would like, but it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. And that was an exciting thing to do. And we've built a couple of other websites with AI. However, not client websites. It's okay to do it, but please make sure that you're working with someone who's not just throwing a website up there because that's really easy. It needs to be thought through. Okay. What's the question?
Okay, we have two. The first one is you're focused on the website. We do most of our daily activity on social media.
Yep.
Are your social media activities captured by SEO and AI?
They are. So there's a couple of things. I'm going to speak about this globally and then from our client's perspective. Yes, if you have, by the way, your Google Business profile allows you to add your social media accounts, not all of them, but a certain number of them or certain ones to your Google Business profile. If you go log in there, that's a newer thing. You can add those in if you want to. You don't have to, but if you do, that's good news. You should do that. And especially if you are very good at being on social media a lot. And yes, if Someone is specifically looking at your overall, what you guys do out there. AI is going to pick up on the fact that you also have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn page. That's great. Social media is wonderful. The typical human person might not pick that up. They might see you on Facebook, maybe, but if you have a newsletter that goes out that also highlights all of that amazing activity you're doing in the field, that is what's important. So if you blog post, you don't have to do all of them. You blog post some of your activities. That's great for your website, great for SEO, great for location, great for AI. Those are good things. And you can hire somebody to do those things for you if you don't have someone to do them. We do that all day. And once that's blog post, that's a nice part of your record out there in AI world. Yes, AI does pick up on social media stuff, but your website is the hub for everything. So please do a fabulous job on social media, but also consider that your website is your representation. That's where the clients are going to go first. That's where your lead is going to go to read more about you. And they're going to click on that blog, and seeing all of your community outreach on that blog is really important, because they may not even know, they may not use Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, Twitter, or probably not Twitter. If we're talking about age groups, Facebook and LinkedIn are your two most important, but they may not be on TikTok where you do your TikTok videos. So please make sure it ends up on your website too. And then in your newsletter as well. You should do a monthly newsletter. They are not dead. They are very important. Okay, what's the next question?
On our Google business page, should we list office hours or that we caregiver 24/7? We do answer our phones 24/7.
I prefer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the reason is that if you go to, let's see, at 6 p.m. tonight, if you were to go to my Google business profile, you would see that we're closed. If I am looking for home care at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night, and you have your office hours listed at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you're going to have 3 others that are going to come up that are going to say open, and yours is going to say closed. You are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are. Your office might not be, but someone's answering that phone, or they should be. So,
And then I think another reason for that is people have been burned by home care. And if I've had several home care agencies and my mom needs 12-hour overnights that start at 7 p.m. and I go to your Google business profile and you're closed, I'm not going to even call you for those overnight shifts. So I think 24/7 is really important.
yes, please don't get caught up in the fact that your office doors are locked after 5 p.m. Don't get caught up in that. That doesn't matter in home care. It probably matters at TJ Maxx, but it does not matter in home care. You are open 24/7. Your website should say that, and your Google business profile should say that. Otherwise, your competitors are just picking up any of those after-hour clients, always. And on Saturdays and Sundays, they're picking them up. Okay, let's see. Just to finish up this slide, the wrong question is, was this website built with AI or was it built with WordPress? Pretty much everybody's website's going to be built with WordPress. I know there are a few others out there like Duda and some other ones that everybody raves about. Everybody's got their preference, but WordPress is probably at least 80 or 90% of the websites built out there. It's an easy CMS to use. It's easy to get into the back end, and it's easy to diagnose and fix errors, because your web developers up until this day have all been well-versed in WordPress. It's okay to have a WordPress website today and a year from now. What is even more fun and is that if some of your operations or the things that you're doing start to be slowly but surely, you're assisted by AI. I would never in this industry recommend that it's all AI. That's ridiculous. This is a human experience, but let AI trickle in just a little bit at a time and help you. Okay. The right questions to ask are, who owns the website, the content, the images, and the data? You need to ask that question, because we come across a lot of folks who don't know if they own the website, the content, or they're locked into some kind of weird contract that keeps them from taking their website with them. Ask that question before you sign a contract. When is this website going to be mine? Is it a year from now, or is it the day that it's finished being built? because there are different answers and you'll be surprised at what you hear. It should all be yours day one. Can the site be moved to another provider? You should be asking that. And how long do I have to be with you before I can move it? What if I don't like you in 3 months and I want to move my website? Can I do that? Ask what the terms are to get out of your contract. Can we control SEO, schema, and redirects ourselves? You can. Absolutely, you can. You should be able to. If they tell you no, that's weird. But most of our clients never want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But we do have clients that want to do that sometimes, and by all means, it's your website. We'll give you the login. Can it integrate with forms, CRM, and tracking tools? It should be able to do that. All of our websites integrate with whatever tools you want to use on it. We have our own that we always put on there and recommend, but if there's something else you need, that's okay. Can it grow as our service area grows? That's a great question. Can I add more location pages? How much does it cost? Can I add more service pages for those locations? How much does that cost? Is it free? What should I expect if I open up another office? How much am I going to have to pay to have that represented on my website? Or is it nothing? And then the answer probably depends on a lot of things, but you need to make sure you own your content, your pictures, and everything right out of the gate. Your website belongs to your business, your content, images, files, data, and databases. It's all yours. If it's not yours for a year, think about what you're doing before you pull the trigger on that contract. Okay.
We've got another question. What information can be obtained from someone browsing our site?
What information can be obtained from someone browsing our site? What do you mean? You mean,
I think what he means is, can you figure out their email address or who they are or what pages they were on?
so there are privacy. Everybody should have a privacy or cookie banner, cookies, privacy, whatever. And it depends. Did the person browsing your website give permission? Did they not give permission? What is it that someone browsing your website has allowed you to do? If you're in California, those laws are way stricter and weirder than any other place in the country. So if you were, for instance, to look at the bottom of our website, we have California law, we have privacy, we have terms of use, and on all of your websites that we've built for you, we have all of that as well as a cookie banner that pops up. If it's not the first time you've ever been there, it won't pop up. You've already done something. Go to an incognito browser. Look at your website, see what the pop-ups are. There should be an ADA little guy or a wheelchair on the side somewhere. There should be there should be a cookie compliance thing that pops up at the bottom left usually, or across the bottom. And then you can choose what things you want to keep private and what you don't. So what someone decides to give you permissions on is what we can find out about them. I hope that answers that question. Let's see. Okay. WordPress plus managed partner versus a proprietary AI website builder. Okay. We obviously, anybody pretty much right now who builds websites can do any of these. So what to compare? There is no winner here. I'm just going to give this advice. If you're going to let somebody build your website with AI, that's fine. Just remember that many people don't know what to ask unless they've already built a few AI websites. They don't know what to put into the website. There's no plugins that you can just add to an AI website. It's all HTML code. There's also ones that are built and they're just coming up as JavaScript on the back end. You don't know any of this, but Google can't read that. So it's just, you don't know what you don't know. And when the only way to learn all that is by talking to people who have built a few AI websites and know what's important to their clients, especially in the home care arena. So match the platform to your growth plan, your team's capabilities, and critically, your contract terms. Make sure you ask every platform provider the ownership and portability questions before you sign. AI websites are definitely portable, like you can move them, but it's not as easy. With a WordPress website, we can wrap it up in a pretty package and tie it with a bow and toss it over to you, and you can take it wherever you want. That's not exactly the same with AI websites, so be very careful there. So launch speed, WordPress with a managed partner, that would be something we do. Fast with great hosting. A proprietary AI builder, usually those websites are going to be really fast. super fast because they are not bogged down with some of the things that WordPress requires in order to operate. Ownership and portability, ask. SEO and schema control, strong for us. AI, when you build it with AI, it varies. Custom integrations, WordPress is a very strong ecosystem for that because of all the plugins and the 20 plus years of having WordPress. An AI builder, it might be limited. It just depends on what AI you use. And I'll tell you, building a website with AI is not free. It is not free. It costs money, a lot of money. You may not know this, but tokens that are used to get this right is insanity. And I know there's ways around that, but it is not free to build on AI. Ongoing maintenance. We've been maintaining WordPress, and most of your WordPress developers will tell you we've been maintaining WordPress websites for a gazillion years. And if your provider's a good one, they will always have security built in and be updating and doing all those things. And then for an AI builder, that is provider managed. So in other words, if you need an update to your website, there may or may not be a backend that you can log into. There should be, but you're not going to be able to see everything you can see with WordPress. It's just a little bit more complicated. Best fit. WordPress and a managed partner are growth focused, and it's an evolving site. You can always have the same site rebuilt with AI later if you want to. Proprietary AI builder is simple, fast brochure or test. So in other words, if you just wanted to throw up a couple of pages of a website just to see how it would look, go ahead and use AI. But if you want one that is scalable at this moment in time, not a year from now, but this moment in time, I would stick with your WordPress website. WordPress does not automatically mean fast, secure, or well managed. The provider quality matters just as much as the platform. We are insane about the quality of our websites and maintaining them for you. And we're not going to disappear overnight. Cousin Eddie will. So if you're choosing a provider, choose one that has longevity in the market and is going to be there for you either today or 5 years from now. And they're not going to disappear, and you're not going to be left with a website that is broken and no way to fix it. We see that a lot. So the quality of the person you hire or the team you hire is just as important or most important. It does for your WordPress or your proprietary AI. Anyway, we will be recommending AI websites in the future, but it is a future thing to consider. And in the meantime, we will be building a few AI websites so that our team knows exactly how to build those, incorporate everything we would have normally done for a website on WordPress, and then we will launch those websites. But it takes some time to learn and do the right thing by your client. AI should accelerate your website, not replace your agency's brain. Good uses of AI include content briefs, first drafts, frequently asked questions, metadata, title tags. You can use ChatGPT for a lot of cool stuff to really enhance your SEO and do some things. But just slapping up content is called AI slop. And you do not want to do any of those things. You don't want to publish hundreds of city pages. You don't want to just copy off of somebody else and put it on your website. You don't want to let things go unreviewed. You want to make sure that a human person reviews what is actually on your website. All right, rule of thumb, AI can do a draft for you. Your agency must verify, localize, differentiate, and approve. 10-minute website self-audit. So we've gone over a lot of stuff, and this is one to take a screenshot of. Does your mobile homepage pass the 5-second test? Is your phone number and primary call to action available on mobile? Can you see it without scrolling? Each major service has its own useful dedicated page. You're not just listing services, you're talking about them. Service area is clear. I know what area you serve, and I might be outside, or I know that I'm inside that area. Real local pages, not AI slop. Recent reviews and testimonials absolutely should be visible on the homepage and on your testimonials page. Caregiver recruiting has a dedicated path, not just a link in your footer. Important pages load quickly on a phone. Google Business Profile is matching what's on your website. Useful frequently asked questions and guides answer real family questions, and you know who owns your website, data, and domain, and it should be you 100%. All right. 30-day website improvement sprint. do a little audit of all these things we've just talked about. Look through whatever it is you want to look through as far as Google Analytics, Google Search Console. Get to know your website a little bit. And then week 2, convert and make sure that you work with whoever it is that's managing your website, whether it's us or someone else. Send them a list of things that you'd like to change. And do not go to ChatGPT and say, list everything you would change about my website. You know why? Because it will not want to disappoint you. And even if your website is stellar, it's still going to tell you a bunch of ridiculous stuff that you should change. And then you're going to want those changes made. And it's like a 5-hour set of changes. You don't know that. You're just sending us what ChatGPT told you that you needed to change. And many of those are unnecessary. So please be careful when you're sending change requests over. Don't just send a list of AI changes. ChatGPT said we should do this. Because also ChatGPT cannot read the back of your website when you ask it a question like that. It can when it's doing its back end stuff. But when you ask it a question, it'll audit my website. Tell me what's wrong with it. It will tell you always from your chat perspective that that your website does not have any schema code on it. And it does. Or it might. Maybe it doesn't. But what you need to do is you need to right click on your homepage of your website and copy and paste all of that HTML that makes no sense to you, and then give it to ChatGPT and let it tell you what it found. And even then, sometimes it's wrong. So be very careful with your website provider when you just send a list of random stuff that ChatGPT recommended. Chat wants you to be happy, so they're always going to find something, whether it's real or not. It makes up stuff. Week 3, expand. You should be expanding your service pages, local pages. And week 4, connect. Make sure that everything is connected. You have that schema. You have Google Business Profile. It's the same. All the things are working and connected. We do this for our clients. So there is no 30-day website improvement sprint. We've already done all of this. However, if you don't have a good web provider, you might think about doing some of these things with your current website provider. Here are a list of our services. The website works hardest when the rest of the growth system connects to it. So GoCare Signal is our search and AI visibility. That's SEO and AI. GoCare Local is all the social media stuff. GoCare Pro is our sales training. The ASN Spark CRM is the CRM that we offer. And reviews and reputation comes along with that ASN Spark CRM. All of this should work together. I hope you guys got something out of this. You do not have to have an AI website. Maybe next year, maybe in a couple of years. But build for people first, then do SEO and AI search as one foundation. Make sure your pages are written for this. The pages that we write on our websites currently today are written for AI search and for humans and for SEO. Own the asset. Make sure you choose a partner and a platform that you fully can control and move when you want to. And that's pretty much my whole. Oh, here's 10 questions to ask before signing a website contract. You can screenshot this. I'll also be sending this out to everybody, not the PowerPoint, but the video. So you'll be able to see all of this again. And then here's a little search terms, set of search terms. You can use that with yourself, anyone. If you're not sure what a CTA is, it's a call to action, core website vitals. I know all of this is a little confusing. Does anybody else have any questions about AI search? Is there anything I didn't cover that you are dying to know? I don't think so. Maybe. What are you dying to know? Anybody? When are the robots going to take over?
Yeah, that. I do want to know that.
10 years. We got 10 years, people. We all got to make money for the next 10 years. No, I don't know. I don't know when AI robots are going to take over, but who knows? It might someday, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe the elder caregiver crisis will be over. We'll just have robots taking care of everybody. I'm not sure. That seems creepy to me.
Yeah.
Super creepy. Like they're just going to turn on you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, but yeah. So if nobody has any questions, that's all I've got.
Thank you.
Good info. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.